been pleasure to be a part of this power talk. I can say rightly talk about the recent topic capabilities, building up a capacity building in the line with Indian power sectors. So let me just give you brief about our organization. Gujarat Energy Research and Management Institute is GSPC Group company. It's a state PSU, and we fall under Energy and Petrochemicals Department. Recently, we shifted to our new campus just near to Apollo Hospital of Gandhinagar. Uh, the future planning of our organization, as we are a research and training institute, we are also establishing a testing laboratories in the line with the renewable infrastructure. We will be having a battery testing laboratory in our new campus. We will also have a green hydrogen testing laboratories. So my talk is related to the recent renewable energy sources or the new technologies that we are working with. Uh, as such, we do have a green hydrogen plant in our campus with 10 kilowatt of capacity. We train more than 700 government employees just to understand what does this plant is all about. Like because everyone is talking about hydrogen technologies, so one should know how hydrogen plant looks like, how to deal with fuel cell, how to deal with the stakes and all. Now, let us just begin with the Indian power sector as a whole. So, when we talk about the Indian power sectors, the discussion has clearly moved beyond the megawatt scales. Now, we are, as like Soil has already mentioned some numbers that like we are projected to reach around 520 to 530 gigawatt as an installed capacity. Our peak demand will be around 280 gigawatt, and definitely the energy requirement as such it reaches to almost around 1900 unit as per the capability point of view. So when we talk about the basic philosophy, uh, whether the real question is now, are we building the right capabilities to manage what we are doing or what we are adding in our grid? So 1900 billion units is the annual energy requirement that we are predicting. So here the challenge is not only generation, because we already surplus the renewable generation, like we reaches to around 258 59 gigawatt of renewable generation. So as per target 2030, that Panchamrit target, I hope everyone is aware. We have already achieved first target, like the generation of power from renewable source of energy beyond 50%. So we almost reaches to around 268 gigawatt unit of generation from non-fossil fuel capacity. The main challenge here is integrations, flexibilities, and reliability of our power sectors. And that is where the capacity building or capability building becomes the central point or key point as far as power sector is concerned. Now, if you can identify the overall power sector in many years back, it was very straightforward. We have generation plant, we have transmission unit, we have distribution sectors. But nowadays, our grid has been become a very complex. So we are now integrating a large volume of variable renewable sources. Now, renewable is not only now focused on solar and wind. We are now moving towards electric vehicle as well. I hope you all are aware that recently there was one pilot on near to Delhi state that they will now switching their battery load to the grid. So that was related with vehicle to grid kind of concept. So that pilot has already been in picture, and many other states are also working to demonstrate that. So variable renewable sources are there, and we need to now manage with all the variable loads including electric vehicles, storage, and again the era is towards AI and machine learning. So we need to equip our power sectors with that new technology, a digitally enabled grid. So capability buildup is now mean by handling variability, managing flexibilities, and planning power systems as an integrated ecosystem. Right. Now, to achieve all these three, the emerging renewable energy technologies are definitely required, and it's not just energy source. They are the enabler of the system capabilities. So, a few of the emerging renewable technologies, as I already mentioned, green hydrogen, like often we already have seen that green hydrogen will be the future fuel. So, how to incorporate that in line with the future fuel, whether hydrogen, the cost parameters, the technically feasible parameters, and the acceptance in a society, that three four parameters we need to work on. And because green hydrogen creates a large flexible electricity demand, it allows us to absorb the surplus renewable energy power. So my previous colleague has already mentioned that storage is now a mandate. Now 10% of storage is anyhow you need to manage in your renewable plant, and one of the options we will be availing from the green hydrogen technologies. We also need to make sure that how capabilities are being incorporated in green hydrogen, maybe in line with the grid planning, in line with the renewable storage hydrogen integrations, and an electrolyzers development and the operations. So recently, Gujarat state has launched their green hydrogen policy, Gujarat state green hydrogen policy, in which a lot of incentives has been provided to the players who wish to be a part of green hydrogen ecosystem. So the incentives and a kind of platform through which the new technologies are to be enabler of the power sector. Another important emerging technologies is offshore wind. Now, as a state, Gujarat and Tamil Nadu do have a highest potential of implementing offshore wind power potentials in India. Central government has provided a separate fund to setting up a pilot on the state of Gujarat and in the state of Tamil Nadu. And I'm happy to share that in the state of Gujarat, we have prepared a roadmap for implementing offshore wind power potentials in the state. We have identified the location where the feasibility of implementing offshore wind pilot projects and the amount of generations to be done by the offshore plant is to be incorporated. So that detailed document is publicly available. Maybe you can download it from our website as well. So it do have a higher capacity factors, a better generation alignment. So the issues that we are facing in solar, that only daytime we are getting electricity, during night time we are not able to access the electricity from solar, that can be nullified here in the offshore wind. The third important emerging renewable trend is towards storage. Not only battery energy storage system, we are also talking about pump hydro storage as a whole, because that do have a highest potential in India. We do have highest renewable hydroelectric power stations, and in which we can incorporate or we can integrate the pump hydro storage facilities. Again, last month only we have published a pump hydro storage policy for the state of Gujarat, and in that a long duration storage, frequency support, and the peak demand management kind of pillars has been incorporated effectively. The fourth and last, not last, but as per time constraint, I need to stop my conclusion that electric vehicles is also an additional renewable source that we need to think in picture, because the EV ecosystem is now prepared. Now, out of 100, we can identify 10 to 20 as an electric cars. Out of 100, we can see 20, 30 as in two-wheelers. So, electric vehicle market is now at a saturation level in India. Now, the battery usage, the recycling of battery, the extracting rare earth materials from the battery will be the issue. So EV will introduce the flexibility demand, time of day consumptions, opportunities for the smart charging and the demand response. Now again, as per the applications we do have, India has more than 30,000 public charging stations. So the reliability of public charging stations, the availability of power to the charging stations, and the route in which we are incorporating from one end to another end. And again, we are talking about the heavy duty vehicles. So electric trucks and electric buses are also now come into the picture with an introductory part of EV ecosystem. So that is very well known and rightly mentioned that smart, more responsive and more consumer centric approach is to be incorporated. So when we say about the Indian power sector is inclining towards the capacity building, it means we are moving towards the system that is reliably heavily, that do have a high renewable penetrations. We do have storage enabler ecosystem, and as mentioned, AI and machine learning, like a digitally managed and reliable and resilient grid is mandatorily implemented. So the capacity building or capacity addition will ongoing. We need to upgrade our skill as per the requirement and as per the technological advancement. But the real transformation lies in how intelligently we operate the system. So load balancing is quite philosophical terms that anyhow we need to incorporate. And I look forward to hearing perspectives from the fellow panelists and the engaging with all of you. With that, I'm concluding my talk and I'm happy to answer questions in case any attendees do have.